Why are the girls hating on Phaedra so bad? And Heavenly is the downfall of Married to Medicine. Let's get into my episode 7, season 11, Married to Medicine recap. This is the Fly on Ebony Ivory, and you can find me on my social media platforms, the Fly on Instagram and YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook at Ebony Ivory. Let's get into this recap. So the episode opens up with everybody in their cars. Jackie and Simone and Cecil are in one car. Then you have Quad, King, and Phaedra in another. Quad brings up to Phaedra that Jackie is concerned about Phaedra being a co-chair and if she's doing what needs to be done. Phaedra says she really don't give a damn what Jackie thinks, basically. They are all going to Heavenly's little lake house, as Phaedra refers to it, to celebrate her son Zach because he's going to dental school. So they arrive at the lake house and everybody is greeted with a shot. Quad has brought her boyfriend King around them, which is a big deal, Jackie says. And so the men are downstairs and the women are upstairs having separate conversations. Toya brings up the fact that Phaedra shouldn't plan any more trips. They did a great job of picking out the location, but they didn't bring anyone together because apparently Contessa and Sweet Tea are notably missing from the family event. And Toya does not feel like it's right. Toya brings up the Your Mama question, the Your Mama comment to Heavenly, and Heavenly does what Heavenly does best, and that's deflect. She said, basically because Toya is like, you need to apologize for that. And Heavenly was like, I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I don't want to make promises I can't keep, like Phaedra. And I'm like, look at her successfully switching gears. So Phaedra, what do you mean by that, Heavenly, basically? Heavenly basically tells Phaedra that Jackie says that you haven't been doing what needs to be done. And Phaedra says, if you want my job, you can have it. And they're like, no. Because she said, I'm not letting bitches like y'all act like I'm not going to do what I say I'm going to do. And the group takes offense. And they like, what? Bitches like what? Are professionals that work every day? Like, what does she mean by bitches like y'all? Not on the same level. And Toya is like, I wish I could say that. And so meanwhile, we switch to downstairs and the guys are kind of explaining the dynamics to King. And, King is basically saying, I'm just here to support her. He said, I'll be staying out the lady's business. And that's that. And I love that. And of course, was Curtis there? Nope, he wasn't there. So they go back upstairs. So they're trying to, they're talking about the fundraiser and the gala, which it doesn't look like a gala. How much everybody can donate. So everybody is like, okay, let's donate $2,500. And then someone's like, okay, well, we need to call Contessa and Sweet Tea. And Toya's like, how is that right? Y'all don't invite them to this, and then y'all want to call them and ask them for money? That's not how this goes. And I'm like, Toya's the only one acting like she got some sense in class. And then you hear Dr. Jackie's like, oh, well, we need their money and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, look how, I said, I'm telling y'all, Jackie and Heavenly are one in the freaking same. Jackie is not as sweet and as nice and as poised as she pretends to be. Jackie and Heavenly are one in the same. Heavenly is the mouthpiece, but Jackie is definitely feeding Heavenly the information to go off with. And I know if you noticed this week how they talked about the Met Gala and tried to, dog Phaedra out in regards to it, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So the next scene is Phaedra is at, they're at Phaedra's house and Sweet Tea comes over. They have a little snackety snack and they're having a conversation and Phaedra's like, I noticed you wasn't at that party. And she's like, I wasn't invited. And Sweet Tea brings up an interesting fact and she says, Jackie doesn't hold Heavenly accountable, but she likes to hold everyone else accountable. And, she was like, yeah, because, Jackie was trying to hold me accountable, talking about I'm not communicating and I'm not doing well as a co-chair. And I'm like, Again, Jackie and Heavenly are one in the same, guys. One in the same. Jackie loves to try to hold other people accountable, but she doesn't want to hold Heavenly accountable. And it's like, it feels like, again, they are scared of Heavenly because why why do y'all let this bad behavior, like, it is really making the show hard to watch. It really makes it, and it's really declassing the show. Y'all are supposed to be, you guys are these doctors, and it's supposed to be, in my opinion, it started out as being very affluent and, admirable. But the show has really gone down, and I'm sorry, all of y'all are to blame. So Phaedra lets T know that there was a conversation and that Heavenly is willing to sit down and have a talk with Contessa and apologize. But Sweet T is like, well, why she's not willing to have that conversation with me? And I'm like, Sweet T, she doesn't respect you at all. As a woman, as a doctor's wife, she feels like you're beneath her. That's what it is. And let me know in the comments if you agree. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on your notifications so you're made aware the next time I drop a recap, please. And I'm like, girl, it'll be a cold day in hell before Heavenly apologizes to you, Sweet T. Y'all gonna have to sue her, or somebody gonna have to smack the shit out of her for her to get her stuff together and stop talking about people. So let's move towards the Med Gala. Now, I wanted to say the event space, it looks nice. But for this to be a Med Gala, it didn't give Med professional opulence. It didn't give gala. The space was sparse and small, and it was nicely decorated. But that's all I have to say about that. So, Jackie begins to question Heavenly begins to question Jackie if Phaedra has come through, if she's done everything that she said she was doing, raise the money. However, they're in front of the event planner, and Jackie changes the subject and not address Heavenly. So they're showing Quad and King getting ready for the Met Gala, and King is sexy. Okay? That's a fine man right there. And I'm liking how King handles himself. So Quad then asks him, are you going to speak to my ex-husband? Baby, why are you thinking about your ex-husband when you got all that sexy, smooth chocolate in front of you? And he says, that's your past. Are you still living in your past? And Quad is like, absolutely not. And I like the way that he checked her in that moment. It wasn't like a hard check, but it was just like, why do I even need to speak to him? Right. Why the fuck do they need to speak? Because they don't. They're on two different, you proclaim that they're two different people. They're on two different levels. So people that are on different levels don't really need to interact like that anyway. So back to the Met Gala. People are starting to arrive. Quad looks amazing. Jackie looks amazing. Curtis was there. I was wondering if he was going to show up, if we were going to see him, but he was definitely there. Sweet Tea and Greg arrive. And I'm like, Sweet Tea, you look a hot ass mess. Don't nobody tell you nothing, Sweet Tea. You are a sweet girl. And I think this is the reason why, a part of the lack of respect from some of the other ladies is you ain't pulling yourself up enough. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking like that as like I want to be a doctor's wife. You looking very homely. I want you to pull yourself together. She just gives me like a little rag you want to just shake out and, set her out real nice, like a fitted sheet or a flat sheet. You get what I'm saying? You know how you whip that flat sheet to get it to go and lay down straight? That's what I'm talking about with Sweet Tea. She looked a mess, y'all. I didn't like the outfit. I didn't like the headpiece. I liked none of it. The look was just a mess. A mess. So we didn't see Simone. Simone too. Who told you to put that on? Simone looked like she was about to do a photo shoot with sunflowers. That's how she looked. She looked like she belonged on the sunflower farm. Like, what the hell was you wearing? You look like you belonged in a cult. So Heavenly said when she saw Simone looked like she belonged in the Blair Witch Project. That was funny. I ain't gonna lie. That's the first thing Heavenly said. That was funny. So, Quad was over there complimenting and bigging up Simone. And I'm like, y'all be letting Quad play in y'all face too much. Too much. So we see Anissa and her husband. Anissa and Kieran was there. And she was complimenting Sweet Tea's headpiece, said that, it's very Indian. And, of course, Heavenly says Sweet Tea looked a mess. So Damon and Greg happen to be standing by each other, and Damon extends an olive branch and going in for the good guy handshake, telling him he looks amazing. And, basically, let's get this conversation started. And here comes Cecil again. I love this. I like this man. Like, Cecil, just sit down somewhere. Like, I'm tired of Cecil trying to be the mediator. Just sit the fuck down. So Damon expresses that he was really hurt by Greg not having his back on the cheating allegations. All of a sudden, Heavenly come over there bulldozing her way like she's goddamn Miss Sealy, talking about, come on, Damon, let's take some pictures. And they looking at her like, damn, we in the middle of the conversation. And she gets it from all angles. Cecil too, like, hello, we're having a really good conversation here. So she apologizes and she walk away. And she's just so goddamn rude. So Damon says a lot of the times his heart, it can look like it's really anger, but it's hurt. And Greg says, I never saw that side of you before. They said, look, we can move forward. They successfully resolved the conflict, hug it out. And I'm really happy about that. And you need to take a lesson, Heavenly. That's how conflict resolution is done. That's how moving forward is done. And that's how you just learn how to progress with people and elevate yourself. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So the next thing we have this good old auction. So everything seemingly is going well. Let me tell you something. The doctors don't seem to be spending any money. Any money. Now, this is to raise money for charity for Black women that have suffered from mortality during childbirth. Now, we all know that this is a very calculated choice of charity because Dr. Jackie had that big rumble on social media, how she made disparaging remarks about Black women, saying outside of the celebrity clientele, those everyday middle class or low income Black women are always complaining and over exaggerating their symptoms. Yeah. She talking about that. I'm like, woo. Jackie, nasty work. But this is what this charity is for, the Met Gala. This is what they're raising money for. So they start off the auction. So basically, they're letting each lady lead their own item that they're auctioning off. And cooking with Quad, $4,000. Excuse me? What the hell is you finna cook that's gonna make me want to pay $4K? I know it's for charity, but what are you cooking? Baby, they had to sell that for $11.50. $11.50. So then we have Phaedra. So Heavenly wants to lead the auction for Phaedra because they're auctioning off a date with Phaedra. And let's not forget, Greg makes a comment talking about quad cooking is not that great. I work $4,000. I was weak as fuck. Okay, so next we go to Phaedra. So they're auctioning off a date with Phaedra for $4,000. And Heavenly is leading the auction. And she says, Greg, and this is what I mean about declassing the show. This is a married man. This is a doctor. He is there with his wife. Why would you say that he would want to bid on a date with Phaedra and he's a married man? Declassy. No class at all. No class up under that wig. No class up under that BBL. No class under that wig or dress. Then Heavenly says in her confessional, they're not getting a good bid for Phaedra right now. Nobody's bidding because Phaedra done had half of the people that's in the room, and they're not gonna pay for something that they already had. Absolutely a disgusting comment to make. Phaedra may look like a baddie and an influencer, but that woman is an attorney and she's very accomplished. Why would you say something like that? So one of Phaedra's friends, somebody that used to date Phaedra back in the day, does pay $4,000. She gets a full offer. She was the only person that was able to get the full offer for whatever her items were auctioning. And we all know now that the guy wanted his $4,000 back. The little brokey wanted his money back. And that they're trying to blame that on Phaedra. Yet though Phaedra cut a check that they couldn't even cut. So they go back after everything was over, they go to calculate, how much was made and what they have left. So at that time, it was about $5K left. Phaedra said, look, I got the money. Let's write the $100K check for the charity. And Jackie and Heavenly are shocked that Phaedra can that she can write a check out for that. Okay. And they're shocked. They was like, oh, that's such a blessing that you have 50K. Y'all don't have 50K in liquid assets, but y'all driving around in all these cars and y'all got all these businesses, but y'all don't have 50K in liquid assets. It's a write-off for Phaedra at the end of the day, but y'all don't have 50K in liquid assets, and y'all try to present yourself y'all are trying to fool us to make us think that this, that, and other. That's why y'all can't be looking up to these folks on TV. So Phaedra goes back out. They present the check. The check is for Kira for moms. I'm dealing with the mortality rate of Black women. This is not just a little competition in group. This is for a bigger cause and a bigger fight. And I'm super proud of Phaedra for giving that donation. They did make more money. So as you know, in the social media streets, Heavenly has been blasting Phaedra because the guy that won the auction for the date for $4,000, that night he was crying and complaining, talking about he wanted his money back. He was crying and complaining he wanted his money back. So he wants the money back, and he reached out to everybody. They refunded the money to him, and they're trying to blame that on Phaedra. I just wanted to add this little piece as far as Heavenly thinking that she's blasting somebody, trying to make this guy wanting his $4,000 back, who they're saying is an attorney, making it Phaedra's fault that he wants his money back. I think, he looks so colorful and janky, and he just seems like he just wanted to be on TV. If he didn't have the $4,000, he had it in credit because they swiped his credit card and went through that night. Why did you even give your credit card information if you didn't want to go through with it? Like, you're a man. You didn't have to give your credit card information. You didn't have to go through with it. Anybody else could have been on a date with Phaedra. And again, this is why I say Jackie and Heavenly are the same person, and Heavenly is Jackie's mouthpiece, because Jackie could have came out and put a stop to it. She obviously let Heavenly run with the story about it, and they're all trying to make that Phaedra's fault. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's Phaedra's fault, that somebody else wanted their money back? And not to mention, again, Phaedra still cut a check. The final balance that Phaedra had to come up with was $37,000. Jackie had a minimum goal of $25,000 for that charity. Phaedra said, let's make it 100. They raised K at the beginning, and then by the end of the night, they raised about a little over 60 something. So Phaedra only had to pay K, and that check cleared. Phaedra came out with receipts about the clear check. Her company is called Phedra Inc. So again, y'all gonna be making up this story about y'all are saying how he wanted his money back over $4,000 when Phaedra donated $37K. Give me your thoughts on that, guys. This is The Fly Aunt. You can catch me on all social media platforms. Instagram, Facebook is Ebony Ivory, and of course here on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on the bell notification so you are made aware the next time I drop a recap. Until the next recap, Auntie loves you. Bye-bye.